This year I decided to join Peachtober. For those of you who don't know, it's Furry Little Peach on Instagram, her October art challenge. So she creates 31 prompts and then you make art based on those prompts. I am only joining a couple days because I think creating art for 31 days is sort of too much for me anyway, and I think at the end I'm not really making pieces that I'm proud of. I'm just making pieces for the sake of making pieces. So instead I went through the list and just chose a couple words that immediately sort of sparked an idea in me. I ended up choosing 4 words, so this is the first word for day 7, which is bud. I've been really into collaging recently, so I decided to make these 4 pieces in collage as well, and then I thought they could make a cute little series. I was trying to decide between working with gouache or working with watercolor. I originally thought gouache because I wanted to have quite a pigmented color and I wanted these pieces to be really bright. But after trying the watercolor version, I just really prefer the textures that come out when you use watercolor and the blending and the bleeding. So in the end I decided to go with watercolor. I traced all the pieces for my iPad, including the ones that I knew I wanted to collage on top of the base, so that they were all the same size and so that I could easily make sure that they all fit into place well. Because I was going to cut out all the shapes after, I didn't have to worry about coloring in the lines or staying neat or anything, and all the excess would just be cut off. So I actually found this style of working really easy and fun for collaging. With the prompt bud, the first thought I had was a flower bud, and I also knew that I wanted to include a character, so I thought the idea of a budding flower and a small human sleeping or growing inside of it would be really cute. Originally I was going to do a fairy, but I tried so many times to do the wings, but they just weren't working for me, so in the end I decided to just not include the wings, and I think she turned out really cute. If any of you are joining Peachtober or Inktober or Drawtober or any other prompt list, I would like to hear, are you doing all 31 days? How is it going for you? If you feel comfortable sharing your social media handles where I could see your work, please feel free to do so. I love finding new artists and I love seeing new art. So it's a couple days after my shop launch. I did a little shop update and now I have a couple orders to pack and ship them tomorrow. I sold all 3 of my little bug magnet sets, which are really cute, so I'm really happy people like them. My shop is still open. I'm not sure how much will be left from the shop update by the time you see this video, but if you're interested in any of my art, then there's a link in the description. I still currently have kittens in my studio, so this is my little shop fulfillment corner in my living room. And these are all my little prints and things and my new stickers and my bug magnets. So I'm just gonna pack a couple of orders and get them ready for shipment. So I'm working on my next Peachtober piece. I'm working on day 19, which is crocodile. I've been really into children's illustration recently, so I thought this would be a fun prompt to challenge myself to draw a crocodile because I've never done that before. And then I wanted to have a sort of opposites attract kind of relationship with these two characters being best friends, the crocodile and the little bird. Compared to the last piece, the shapes of this one are quite simple, so there was not a lot of cutting and gluing, and I wanted to focus a bit more on bringing forth the texture of the watercolor. And because crocodiles have such specific scaly skin, this felt like the perfect piece to just play around with the watercolor and see what kind of textures I could create. I really enjoyed sticking on all these little teeth. I think it ended up really cute, especially the contrast with the green, red, and then the white on top. As you can tell, I'm working ahead of time. I find it too stressful to work on the actual day of making the piece, so I just choose a day where I have enough free time to make the pieces, and then I'll post it on the day of the challenge. This is what works for me. I think a lot of artists end up working in advance and use their September to plan all their drawings to make sure that they're prepared for when October comes around. I think the fun part of where these drawing challenges have headed towards is that you can sort of just do what works for you, do how much works for you. You're not like obliged to work in a specific medium or do all the 31 days, because for some people that's really not possible, including me. This is our little crocodile friend. It's not my favorite piece ever, but I had a fun time and I think he's pretty cute. So I came up with this idea for my October self-portraits with me painting and my 3 foster kittens and my 1 foster cat. And I thought it would be cute to do a little stylized illustrative style. It's a little bit different from what I've done so far, but I wanted to try something new this month. As you may or may not know, I'm doing a self-portrait challenge this year, and I did it last year as well. I have a full video sort of explaining my challenge and also showing me working on one of the pieces if you're interested. And these are a couple of the pieces. I had previously decided that for 2024 I would challenge myself to work only traditionally, but for the last 3 months or so I've been sort of losing steam and haven't been really so excited to do the project, which kind of makes the challenge lose its purpose a bit because it's supposed to be fun. When I came up with this idea and thought it would look cute as a digital piece, I decided to just go for it, and rules are meant to be broken. I also don't draw in this style very often, so it's also a challenge to find a way to depict myself in a bit more of a cartoony style while still having it look like me, which was really fun actually. In the end, all the colors were sort of feeling fall and autumn vibe, so I decided to just push that further and keep a little autumn color scheme. And I think it turned out really cute, and I'm happy to have this little piece to commemorate all my foster cats staying with me at the moment. I'm headed to the center to meet up and draw with some friends. We were supposed to go to a park, but it's raining today and it's horrible weather, so we're going to a cute cafe instead. So another thing I've been working on amongst all of my other projects is not very fun, but it is part of being a freelance illustrator. So I've been updating my portfolio, I've been updating my Behance, I've been sending out emails, I think it's been a good solid couple of years since I uploaded anything on Behance. I think the last time that I did was when I was still in uni, which I think is like 4 years ago now, maybe 3, I don't know. Time is weird. So I decided it might be time to put up some of my stuff. Personally, I don't love Behance because I think it's pretty hard to get attention and views. And they often favor projects that are made with Adobe apps, and I usually use Procreate. So let's see. I also created an account on Upwork a couple days ago. So I've been trying to apply to some jobs on there to see how it works and whether I like it. So far, I'm not sure yet, but I might talk about it in a future video if that sounds interesting to some of you. Updating my portfolio also is showing me what's sort of missing from my portfolio. So next, I'm also going to be working on pieces that I think will strengthen my portfolio. So as I said, kind of boring stuff, but also maybe interesting for you to see some of the other work I make. And it's also important work, so that's why I'm forcing myself to do it. And lastly, I worked on my last Peachtober piece. I was going to do 4, but I ran out of motivation to the 4th one. Plus, I think that the idea that I had works better in a different format versus this like collaging on the square that I've already set for my Peachtober. So I think I'm going to keep that idea to use another time. Also, I was running out of steam a little bit. I only did 3 out of 31 and still somehow I managed to lose steam on the last one. I'm still happy I did it though, and I really like this idea, so I think I'll probably explore it again in the future, maybe digitally. The prompt for this one was backpack, and I currently have 3 foster kittens, which you probably know. So I thought of this idea of a little girl sneaking her little kittens to school with her because she didn't want to miss them when she left for the day. I think maybe what didn't work with this one was that I wanted the colors to be quite pastel. I think the watercolor pieces I made before, like the other 2, were very bright and saturated, so then when I tried to make this one more pastel colors, it sort of fell flat for me a bit. I tried to save it a little bit with the color pencil at the end, which I think helped, but I still don't love the outcome. But anyway, these are the 3 pieces I made for Peachtober, and I probably want to join again next year, and maybe I can get even more done next year. That would be great. Thank you to everyone who made it to the end of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.